Well, hello students. This is Professor Levy, and today I'm coming to you from my home in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I certainly miss you. It seems like it's been a very long time since I saw you last. That was back before spring break, which seems like a very long time ago. But I pray that you're all doing well, that you're safe, and that you're healthy. And I hope that you're remaining engaged. I know there's a lot that's been going on. I sent you a recording last week giving you an update on what's happening at the college. And as you know, our course has been converted to an online course. And so, as I said in that first message, last week was week number 9 on our syllabus. So I want to give you another update this week and announce some things coming up that's going to be very important to you. The reason I'm recording this video as opposed to sending another email is I'm really trying to maintain a personal connection. I really miss seeing you. I can almost imagine our class right now. I can see Stacy in the back. Hope you're doing well. We actually did talk to Stacy earlier this week. I also miss and can see Tiana also in the back, and Kayla and Taylor up front. I've been in touch with Stacy. Some of you I've heard from email this past week or through phone conversations. But I can see and miss Imani, our 2 Kenyas. Hope they're doing well. Destiny, how are you? Haven't seen or heard from you since spring break, but I hope you're doing well. And Omar and Marquise and Ty, Michael, Taylor, Fasha, how are you all? And I hope you're staying in touch with each other, encouraging each other, helping each other if necessary through this crisis that we're in. Just to give you a heads up, I'm hoping maybe to convene another class, a live class with us next week, Thursday, so that we can communicate online using a program that we have in Blackboard that will allow all of us to see and talk to each other. But for this week, let me give you an update so you know where we are. First of all, I don't want anyone to give up. Remember, this is a course about the black experience. And so one thing we have learned, if we've learned anything, is how people overcome challenges and difficulties. In fact, the period in the course that we're studying now is the period right after the American Civil War, one of the most difficult times in American history that went on for 4 years, cost the lives of 600,000 people, and the challenges for black people in particular after the Civil War. So this gives us something to compare our lives to today and the kind of challenges that we're going through, which are not nearly as significant or as painful as what some of our ancestors had to go through either in the Middle Passage or during the period of slavery, or even through the Great Depression that we'll be studying in just a few weeks. So don't give up, remain focused. Remember that although you don't have control over everything going on around you and over everything going on in the world, I've heard from a lot of students who lost their jobs recently because of all the stores being closed down. I've heard from other students who are being required to work more now than ever, have been designated as essential workers or people who are working part-time during the holidays for UPS or Amazon that now require them to work full-time, and then other students who have lost their income and lost their jobs because of this. So whatever the situation, although you don't have control over everything, this is something important that you still have control over. And that's essential that you know that and remember that, so that you never feel helpless or completely out of control. There's certain things that you can't control about the economy or about this virus, but there are things, important things, that you do have control over, and one of those is your education and achieving your dreams and your goals as it relates to finishing your courses. So remember that and exercise that power and authority over things you do have control over. And that's particularly this class, and hopefully your other classes as well. So, just to recap, all of you now should be on Chapter 9 in our syllabus. There's a digital copy of the syllabus in Blackboard, so you can look at that. But basically what that means is you should have all read Chapter 15 by now. And you're also starting a new book. In the first half of the course, you remember, we read a great book called Never Caught, about the life of a slave woman named Ona Judd. In the second part of the course, we're now reading a book by James Baldwin, a collection of essays called The Fire Next Time. And I hope you're reading that. I hope you're enjoying it. It is the closest thing to the essay that you're writing, because rather than being a novel, it is a collection of essays. And it is an essay that you're writing for this course. So if you want to learn from Baldwin, who's one of the best writers of the 20th century, then this is something for you to look at. I would also suggest that look at this as an opportunity to focus more on your academic life. Some of you have a lot more time than you anticipated. You don't have to go to classes anymore. You don't have to go to work, perhaps. And so this gives you an opportunity to devote more time to your studies the way you wish you could have previously. So take the time to read those chapters and continue work on your research paper. Now, this is now week 10. Last week was week 9. Now we're in week 10 of the syllabus, still a week behind what I originally planned, but we're making up for that, and we will still be able to finish on time. So week 10 says that you should have your third exam this week. As a matter of fact, on Thursday, I should be posting test number 3. Now I'm going to postpone test number 3 until the end of next week, just to make sure everybody's had a chance to catch up and get back on track. Also, the first drafts of your paper are due. And some of the people I mentioned, the reason I've been in touch with them this week is they were asking about how to submit the paper, how to do the footnotes. And so I'm also going to give you an extension on the research paper, the first draft of your research papers, until next week. So what you don't want to do is to postpone everything until next week and have a paper and an exam the same week. So I would say if you're finished with the first draft, submit that this week. I'll give you until Thursday of next week to turn in the first draft of your paper, and then I'll post the exam on Thursday and keep that exam up for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well. But you don't want to have to write a paper and take an exam all in the same week. So I assume you've been working on your paper for several weeks now, in fact for several months now, so that you're not waiting to the last minute to get that done. But you do have work to do to study for the exam. So balance those responsibilities and obligations over the next 2 weeks so that by next week, early next week, you'll turn in the first draft of your paper, and then next weekend you'll take your third exam. I did ask the librarian who's assigned to our course to reach out to you, and she sent me an email showing that she did let you know that she's still with our course and she's still available to any students who still need more scholarly articles. Hopefully you have your books with you that you identified on your paper topics. We do it early in the course. But if you still need some additional scholarly articles, then write her, tell her what your topic is, and she said that she would help you find some scholarly articles and be able to email those articles to you. So that is going to be another resource. The Learning Center is still open, again, online, helping students study for exams and prepare papers and those kind of things. So take advantage of all the resources and all the help that you still have available to you. The next thing that I want to suggest to you is, with this extra time, a lot of people have been watching more television than they normally would have. And so I want to suggest some movies and videos that are very relevant to our course. The first is one that I saw a few weeks ago on Netflix, if you subscribe to that, and it is called Madam C.J. Walker. She is one of the people we were studying last week, chapter 15 mentioned in the book. She is America's first female self-made millionaire. And she's a black woman, started a whole line of hair care products, her own factory producing the product, beauty salons around the country, and she became a millionaire in her own lifetime. And so Netflix has made a series about her that is very good and pretty historically accurate. So I encourage you to watch that, enjoy it. It's also relevant to our course. There could be questions about her on test number 3 next week, and so it'll be worthwhile watching. Also, musically, this period is a period known as ragtime, which will later lead to jazz in the 1920s. But during the period of ragtime, this music was very popular, and there's a movie on HBO called Bessie Smith. As a matter of fact, Queen Latifah plays the title role as Bessie Smith. And I encourage you to watch that if you have HBO, and then you could stream that on demand. And it's called Bessie Smith with Queen Latifah. And so those are 2 movies that I would encourage you to watch. In Blackboard, I have some videos, a documentary on Booker T. Washington, and in week 10, a documentary on W.E.B. Du Bois. Those are both very short, about 10 to 15 minutes. What I promised in my first video to you last week is that I would start recording my lectures. So students who really prefer to learn in a classroom with the professor there who could explain things. So what I've done is I've recorded a video where I would explain things the way I normally do in class, but I've recorded it for you in a video format. Not in this lecture right now, but if you go into week number 9, look in that folder, you'll see a new lecture called Reconstruction to Booker T. Washington. And there I kind of walk you through all the material basically the way I would do in class. So I hope you find that helpful for students who are not comfortable just learning everything from the book. When you're on campus, you still have to read the book, but you're not on your own. I'm still there with you, and I'll explain things, give you the significance of it, insight and observation. You have to invest the time to watch them and study them. Study them in an environment where you have privacy, where you can concentrate, and where you can still take notes. And if you do that, you should still be able to succeed in the course. So those are my announcements for you. The thing I want you to think about for next week, and maybe write me, maybe I'll send out a poll, is about having class next week. So I'm anticipating meeting at our regular time, that is on Tuesday or Thursday of next week, probably Thursday, and having a class session. So let me know if you're available and if you're interested. Also, if you would like to have a private meeting with me, I'm still willing to do that. A lot of you would visit me during my office hours. Blake, miss you. Mia, they used to stop by and see me in my office. We could still do that, but you have to contact me. Let me know when you want to talk and a phone number that you want me to call you at. And then we could still set up private conversations by phone. Jasmine, Samia, I think she's back in Philadelphia. All of you, if you want to still meet with me privately, send me an email. Otherwise, try to come to class. And I would like to have it as a group, and we could talk about the material, we could talk about papers, we could talk about each period of the course as we move forward. This will give structure to your life, which is very important, that you get up every day, you get dressed, you live life like it has meaning and purpose and something for you to accomplish every day of your life. And so keep doing that, and I think you will be successful, and we'll get through this together. So in conclusion, what I want to say again is that I miss you, and I hope you're doing well. I want you to stay healthy, and I want you to stay focused and determined to succeed. Take care and be well.